I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it a back day. Yeah, I got game, God in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it Turnpike Miles. Yeah, it's Buku signing on.
Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Once a Week. I'm Giannouloudis, and we have a special guest here today. If you've seen her before in our other videos, you know the information she can bring to you. But guys, Andrea Urciuoli is back with us, and she's got something great for us today. She's been moving forward with her own business, getting it out there, helping people with this mindfulness that she's been teaching us in all of her videos. And she wants to bring you guys something today, the Mindfulness Project. So Andrea, I thank you so much for being here. Welcome back.
Thank you, Billy. Good morning. Happy Sunday. And thank you for the little intro to the Mindfulness Project, which I'm super excited about. The website's almost done. I have a dear friend working on it for me. So basically, the Mindfulness Project is working with people that, whether it's fitness or their brains, just can't seem to get out of their own way. Okay. And there's 3 different aspects of the Mindfulness Project. I'm trained in Pilates. I love it. I teach at the Easton YMCA. And I teach people one-on-one. I do a little bit of personal Pilates training. So the first segment of the Mindfulness Project is I help a lot of busy, not just moms, but the majority of my clients are busy moms that can't seem to leave their PCs and go to a gym or just have that hour to themselves. So I go to their homes. And we meditate. There's a tiny bit of Reiki, and we have a great workout. So it's about an hour and 20 minutes, and that's the first segment of the Mindfulness Project. Being mindful of your time, your day, and this is for me. Awesome. I know I need to go back to work or back to my kids or back to life, but that hour is for them, and they don't have to leave their house or their office. So that's the first piece, and I love it, and the clients love it too. And the second piece is doing workshops at either camps or schools, colleges, getting the students to calm their minds, calm their bodies, calm their faces, calm their thoughts, and live in the present moment. Gotcha. So let's tie it into what we talked about this morning. What was that quote that I said?
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. I think most people live in this state of fight or flight. So what I want to do is talk to students about the beauty, number one, the beauty of living in the present moment and what it does to your brain and your body and your nervous system, and not living in the past. And if we can have this dialogue and then go into a full meditation, which I was kind of nervous about, oh my God, are people going to think this is all so metaphysical and woo-woo? As Dr. Joe Dispenza has proven to the world that a few minutes of meditation and calming the body and the mind does work.
Exactly.
And especially in this day and age of iPads and cell phones and what's next and living in the future, I believe students need to go back to the basics. Like you and I didn't have a cell phone when I went to college. I had to study, maybe I went out with my friends. I mean, everything else was there, but there was minimal electronics. I'm dating myself right now, but I didn't have a cell phone back then, in the early 90s. And so I want to put their minds and their bodies at ease and train them to see what this elevated emotion is and what this feels like to actually sit crisscross on a mat and not think about anything but blank space.
I like that, because you said something where it struck a chord with me, where everyone's kind of on their phones and everything looking for the next thing in the future, and yet you're looking for the future, but what people don't get is their mind usually is constantly living in the past. So the work that you're doing through the Mindfulness Project is trying to bring them back to the present moment. And that's where mindfulness comes into play. That's where meditation comes into play. Where your mind isn't focused and trying to run from the past by trying to run towards the future. You're able to find the middle ground. And that's what you're helping people do, which is incredible.
And I believe that students, whether it's high school or college, it's a struggle right now. Because everybody has, all of us, even my 11-year-old, his calendar is like crazy. We have so much on our plates. Then we're pouring that Kool-Aid onto our kids of You should be in the drama club, and you should be in band, and you should be a skier, and you should be a runner, and you should do 3 sports, and you have a ton of homework, and you have a family, and you should eat and sleep and have friends. Really?
Yeah.
That's what we're teaching our kids?
Yeah.
To pack it all in, not calm your brain, not calm your body, but to do great at everything.
Yeah.
And make sure it's known
Yeah.
when you, that's not living in the present moment.
No, it's true.
You're not focusing on 1 or 2 talents that you have.
Yeah.
Your grades, your family should be first.
Yeah.
Your grades, but to get into that place of happiness, I think we've lost our way.
Yeah.
I think society has lost our way with electronics and iPads and whatever. So what I would love to do, and this mindfulness project is coming to fruition,
Yeah.
because I get excited about it and I feel it, and the more and more people that I talk to about it, they're like, I want this for my kid.
Yeah.
I want this for my sister. I want this for my son, whatever, my daughter.
Yeah.
So it's coming together, and it's working already.
Yeah.
Because I've done it on a small level to younger kids.
Exactly.
To the local schools, and I've only done it for 15 minutes. So after the meditative process and the dialogue and the banter and the conversation, I want to work out with these guys.
Yeah.
I want to put guys or girls, who's ever in this group,
Yeah.
we need to go right to
That's awesome.
a killer, Tom Brady Pilates workout with opening up your hip flexors and plank and all sorts of stretches, and then we go back to meditation again.
That's awesome.
And that will put them in a state of being able to breathe better,
Yeah.
being able to focus on their work more, and going back to, I don't have to think about tomorrow. I know they have to study for their exams, but stop worrying about what's
Yeah.
going to happen next week.
Exactly. And truthfully, after studying meditation and growing closer towards the goal of it through Dr. Joe Dispenza and whatnot, how you set that up to help the kids out sounds perfect. With the meditation, then the exercise, then Pilates and whatnot come together, then back to calming their minds. That's when through meditation, that's where your energy starts to flow so much more. So from you helping younger kids, that is probably the biggest thing to me, is such an impact, because with the young kids that I get to work with, their mind does not stop running, no matter what. And that's not because of, a video game constantly playing that on a tablet, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's just, they can't slow their mind down.
They can't slow their minds down.
So
yeah.
for Andrea to come in and do this mindfulness project to help younger kids, to me, I wonder where that sets them up later in life. Because if you can control your mind at a young age, which, let's face it, a lot of people much older still struggle with.
Right.
But if you learn that at a young age, where is that going to lead you?
Right.
That's very impactful. I see that helping so many kids out. It's powerful.
It is powerful, and I do want to say that if you've never meditated before and you've tried it for a minute or two, it is uncomfortable, and you won't understand it.
Yep.
And you don't necessarily have to take a course on it. There's a ton of free stuff on YouTube that you can do. I do one daily now, and sometimes 2 daily if I have the time.
Yeah.
Just a 10-minute meditation. 10 minutes sounds like nothing. To a student, a college student, or a high school student that has never done it before, it's going to be uncomfortable at first.
Yeah.
But if you can't get uncomfortable, you're never going to shift your bad habits. You're never going to shift your brain. I shouldn't say bad. You're never going to shift your habits to, you are always waking up on this side of the bed, and you always have your cup of coffee at 8 a.m., and you're always driving down that same street to get to school. And so you're not, how do you break the chain?
Yeah.
By changing, shifting. There's no way you're going to evolve unless you break the pattern.
Yeah.
Instead of getting up in the morning and grabbing your phone and scrolling, why not leave your phone aside, put your phone on a different side of your bedroom, and choose, or have an app downloaded and say, okay, at 6 a.m. every morning, before I get out of bed, I'm alone, nobody's around me, I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
See what that does for you.
Yeah.
Just test yourself for a week.
No, that's awesome.
See how you feel after that. Maybe stretch out, do a few push-ups, then go to class. You will evolve.
Yeah.
But it does take time.
Yeah.
All of this project takes time, and you
Yeah.
have to believe in it.
Exactly.
You have to have patience, just like anything else in
Yeah.
life.
And, I think you hit the nail on the head. You're going to get uncomfortable. And it's funny to say that with meditation, because people think meditation is coming to like your center, your peacefulness, which is the goal for the result of it.
Yes.
But you need to get uncomfortable to find that, because in the world we live in, we're trying to constantly find the next thing that we need to do, meaning take action to better our lives.
Yes.
When taking action could be you not taking action and meditating.
Right.
But you need to get uncomfortable to be able to calm yourself for however long you do it for. And to say from experience, now I try to learn the basis of like whatever I'm searching for. So when meditation came across my desk, I'm like, all right, let's figure this out to see what this is all about. And reading all these books and everything, I'm like, all right, I understand it. I can truthfully say from experience that in trying to meditate, you will get uncomfortable if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
And I tried it recently, and I'm still growing in this thing. So if you're thinking about starting this, I'd say give it a try, because it does help you out tremendously. But I can say from trying to do a 10-minute meditation, slowing your mind down to the point where you can, breathe and everything and just focus on your breath, it's tough because my mind doesn't want to stop.
Right.
It wants to analyze. So I'm in the meditation, I'm like, all right, when does this start? What do I get out of this and everything? Yeah. And you need to put all that aside. So
let me respond to that. So I always bring this book to all of our sessions, Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza, New York Times bestseller. I don't work for him, but I just know that this process,
it's a powerful book.
It works for me.
Yeah.
What Dr. Joe Dispenza says, for you to evolve and to succeed, your brain has to go to a blank space.
Yeah.
Now, I couldn't understand and grasp that concept.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about, wow, this happened to me last year, I don't know, I'm just making up a scenario, I didn't do well in college, or that happened and so broke up with me, or whatever was trauma in your life.
Yeah.
When you keep reliving that, you're not evolving to go to the next step. That's the past. Skipping over the present. Now go to the future. If you're thinking in your mind, this is going to happen to me and this is going to happen to me, and you're planning your life.
Yeah.
You're going into the bad habit of the past because you think that bad thing is going to happen again.
Yeah.
What the neuroscientists are saying, don't have the thought of the past or the future. Clean the slate. He actually says this in the book, or you can YouTube some of his meditations because they're pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Go into blackness, go into darkness. It's training though. It's like boot camp for your brain, and they call it like a cerebral cleanse.
Okay.
Rinsing the brain, like you have to rinse your body and eat better and work out to get a better body.
Yeah.
Well, you have to do that for your brain too.
Exactly.
You have to get rid of that, whatever caused, PTSD in your life from the past, or triggers or anxiety. And you have to go to a place of calmness, darkness, and nothingness, he calls it.
Yeah, nothingness.
That's what blew my mind. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. This is weird.
Yeah.
But then, just like anything else, like the cells in your body, if you're really mad and angry for a long time, it's going to be hard to get out of that negative emotion.
Yeah.
But if you've started to shift and you're
Exactly.
getting happier in life and your cells are responding to the happy pill, you're going to be in an elevated state.
Yeah.
So he says to go to a clean slate of nothingness, and that's how we evolve.
Yeah, exactly. It's powerful. It's very
Powerful
powerful
stuff.
And that's what Andrea teaches in the Mindfulness Project.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to see the Mindfulness Project start to grow.
Yeah.
And it's I recommend it to all you guys. If you have the time, or like Andrea said, if you're a busy person and all you have is during the day, Andrea will come out and help you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we're not done with this video yet, but guys, if this interests you, message us on YouTube comments, and Andrea will answer for you.
Yeah.
And she'll be right there to help you out with it. But there was another piece of this video that we want to put out there for you guys, and Andrea mentioned earlier, but hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
And that's a saying that I think is just tossed around. It's been tossed around my entire life, and I think it's tossed around everyone's lives, whether you think about it or not. And we started to dive into it earlier, and truthfully, when you take everything that Andrea teaches and whatnot, and meditation and whatnot, when it says prepare for the worst, it could be one of the worst things that you possibly do.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
You're living in a state of fear.
Yeah.
And neuroscientists have proven that it causes anxiety to prepare for the worst. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Exactly.
So you just canceled out the hope because
Yeah.
you're preparing for the worst.
Exactly.
And you're putting your body into a state of fight or flight.
Yeah.
I struggled with that for a long time because I grew up with prepare for the worst. And he actually, he had a little metaphor going with the soldiers. Think of a soldier walking through a minefield of, oh, is the bomb going to be here or is the bomb going to be here? Really? We're going to live in a state of always looking over your shoulder. That's hypervigilance.
Yeah.
So where's the happy spot?
Exactly.
Where's the place of, I can do this, or I'm going to try to do this, or I feel good about this, and I think this is going to work.
Yeah.
So if you go into, I don't think this is going to work, I need to get a new career, you've just canceled out all the positive emotions to lower emotions, which are the negative.
Yeah. When we were diving into this earlier, hope for the best and prepare for the worst, like Andrea just touched on it, you cancel out your hope and you prepare for the worst. Because if you're hoping for the best, you're putting it out there and you're trying for it. But if you're preparing for the worst, even just the words themselves, preparing for the worst, you're telling us that you're taking action on what the worst possibly could be. Meaning you're preparing for it and hoping is like, there it is, like, let's do it. Prepare for the worst. All right, I'm going to make sure I do these things to make sure the worst doesn't happen to me. So you're already fixated on the negative happening to you rather than the positive, which is the hope that you're hoping for. So if you take that into effect, fixate on the negative aspect. If you're fixated on the negatives will start to grow. So if you're preparing for the worst and you're fixated on the worst that could happen, that's all you're focusing on. You're going to miss out on the best that could happen in your life because you stopped hoping for it.
Right.
Or you cancel out your hope because you prepare for the worst.
And you've already triggered your body into some level of lack. And we talked about this earlier when I said hope. Hope sounds like lack, like I hope this is going to happen. I know hope is definitely, we should all hope for the best. But you're definitely putting your body into scarcity that it might not happen because you're already preparing for the worst instead of saying, I enjoy this work.
Yeah.
I know this works because it's good work. There's nothing negative about any of this.
Yeah.
To be mindful, it's not saying, let's steal from an account or anything. There's no negative. We're going back to the basics in which I think a lot of us have, lost our way.
Yeah, exactly. And we said something earlier too. Andrea brought up how she grew up on hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So she grew up on preparing for the worst. And I had to start and run with that where in my childhood, that was always an undertone in everyone's lives, not just my immediate life, but everyone's. And you start to think about it where preparing for the worst, we were always told that we needed to get a good job so we don't fall on the ground when we get older. Or we need to go to college to get that degree so we get a good job so we don't fall on the ground earlier. So technically speaking, we're all preparing for the worst because we don't want to fall on the ground later.
Yeah.
But then we all get put in debt tremendously because of college and everything. And like I went to college, I loved learning, I loved everything about it and whatnot. But when you start to think about that, when we're all driven to prepare for the worst, what would happen if you could take that out of it? And that's just a thought to meditate on, to think on, to pray on, whatever works for you. But think on that. What would happen to you if you
didn't prepare for the? I'm trying to think of that.
You just hoped.
Yeah, if you just didn't right. So what would happen to your brain and your body if you did not prepare for the worst? This is what Dr. Dispenza says. You're going into the unknown, and that's where he wants you to be. That's what the scientist said. Yeah. You have more of a chance to succeed when you're walking into the unknown. You're not preparing for the worst.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I feel good. My body feels good. My mind is calm. I'm going to have a great day.
Yeah.
Your chances are far greater than, you know what? I don't know. This happened to me last year. I've gone down this road before. You're already living in that state of fear and lack.
Exactly.
So it doesn't work.
Yeah. Where your mind goes, energy flows, and you control where your mind goes. So you get the energy out there. But guys, that's just something we wanted to end with you guys on. Yeah. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And guys, if the Mindfulness Project interests you, message us. Message Andrea, and she'll get you the information right there. She can help you out with all this stuff if you're just, you want to step into it a little bit. Or try any of the stuff that Andrea put out there for you guys today in this video. But it's powerful, guys. Run with this message and use it to help you. But Andrea, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Billy. This
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Guys, like this message so we can share it to more people. If this message impacted you in some way, or you think it could impact someone that you know in some way, share it to them. Spread it to more people. And hit that subscribe button so we can get that number up and spread this to even more people. That's the goal right now. We want to spread these messages to help others. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you next week.
Yep. Have a great day. Thanks, Billy.
See you guys.
All right.
You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it a back bay.